Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, hi, my name is Charles Frill, and so I'm part of Lenovo. I hope you do know Lenovo, but you might know us for our being number one in PC, which we are. You might know us for being the first one to sell 5G phone, which we are through our Motorola brand. Or you might know us for building the fastest supercomputer in the world, which again, we are. Lenovo is a global company operating in 180 markets around the world, so we really have a global footprint, and I believe well positioned to work with the communication service provider. The value proposition that we bring is really around four key pillars. The first one is around performance and optimization. We understand NFV, and even more at the edge, the ability to have the most performance out of your application is crucial. So we have a strong track record in high-performance computing, which led to over 153 world record. And just put that in perspective, is that everybody's using the same x86 server, everybody's using the same component, yet we are in an uncontested position, number one position, when it comes to optimization. And how is that possible? Well, we have developed, and we have engineers here at the Lenovo booth, really that are passionate about when they're designing a board, they take careful craftsmanship into designing the board to offer the most performance. We work with software optimization on the Linux operating system. We work with acceleration cards such as GPU, FPGAs, and Intel technology in order to optimize the performance so that when you deploy your NFV application, you really get the most out of the box. Global and friendly, I think, is important, especially if you have to experience our customer support. We've constantly being ranked number one in that space, and again, I believe this is something that you will appreciate if you ever have to call our call support. But also deploying NFV means not only performance, but also about scale. How do I deploy kilometers of servers to transform my infrastructure and still be offering the same performance? So Lenovo is really blessed to be selling to 6 of the top 10 hyperscaler, and we've learned a lot about how to manage 10,000 servers in 2 data centers, for example. Now, I'm turning this around to the team and say, well, now we have 2 servers in 5,000 locations. But a lot of the tool set, a lot of the learning, a lot of the expertise that we have developed is now repurposed towards being able to deploy at such scale. Again, quite important. But reliability is perhaps the fourth value proposition that we bring to you in our solution, is really the only vendor out there that has achieved a 5.9 reliability constantly year after year. So what do we actually offer for the communication service provider? So obviously you know that Lenovo has a comprehensive set of equipment. We have servers, we have storage, we actually have a partnership, an OEM partnership with NetApp. We also have a networking solution and edge design, purposely built edge servers, in which we have included some self-defense hardware mechanism, in which we have included some remote management capability through LTE management, for example. So we do have a comprehensive set of hardware, but more important, we designed a product called Lenovo Open Cloud that we're going to talk about with TSystems that helps automate the deployment and management of this platform. Hardware and component is one thing, and this is why we're using Lenovo Open Cloud to manage this infrastructure and deploy the virtualization layer, the VIM, either with Red Hat or anybody that is your VMware, like at TSystems, but anyone that your preference, we have a relationship with. Now, more important, we have a very active research group working on with artificial intelligence to be able to detect and prevent some of the hardware failure, some of the component failure. The ability to go through these massive logs of thousands and 10,000s of units and being able to detect that, hold on a second, when we see this pattern happening over and over and over again, that means that memory bracket is bad, and maybe we shut down preemptively, or we recommend an action to dispatch automatically a hard disk to swap it out before the before the failure occurs. So it's that intelligence that we're bringing to our infrastructure, allowing us to offer the 5.9 reliability that we have. And obviously, this is pretty much where the Lenovo value proposition is to provide a reliable, performant infrastructure and partner with VNF vendors in order to deliver that complete NFVI solution. So I joined Lenovo about 1.5 years ago, and the first few customers that I start talking to all explained to me the level of automation that they had, and which I thought was awesome. You sit down with you sit down with the NFV team and say, yes, we're using this OpenStack distribution, and we have all the automated the deployment of that OpenStack. Absolutely, we have it done. I push a button, Charles, and we're done. Okay, good. And then they introduced me to the networking colleagues, which pretty much told me the same thing. They use NetConf and completely automated. No more CLI monkey. They press the button and off they go. And then you meet with the server guys, and same thing, right? Oh, I use Redfish to update my firmware. And then, wow, guys, with all that automation, by now you should be turning servers in minutes. And they say, well, it's faster. But it still takes us a few weeks. And it still requires a lot of professional services and customization. And that's a challenge that we wanted to address with Lenovo Open Cloud. Really what we're providing is a component service view that automates that end-to-end deployment of the service. So that we basically we orchestrate the automation of these island of automation so that you can press that button. And basically, we'll start by deploying the firmware, the hardware, managing this. We'll go on and provision the Vim, the operating system. We'll go and provision and then turn it up to the VNF and the Mano for the rest of the application and service chaining. But basically, what we bring as a value proposition is the ability to have a discovery of your topology. So how can you automate what you don't know what's out there? So we'll automatically discover the component. We'll create an inventory of those components. We'll allow you to create a catalog of software repository that you can push different personality to different server and do all of this in one view. And so basically, it really comes out in 3 steps. The first one being the planning. So we provide you a dashboard to say, hey, what do you need? What is your infrastructure that needs, how many components do you need? And what name do you want to give it? What IP address do you want to assign to it? Second thing is really, how do I automate the various automation islands that I just talked about? What are the different components that you have? And we'll automate that one by one. And finally, I maintain and do the lifecycle management, but also one thing that is super important is the performance monitoring and benchmarking. What we wanted to offer in a single pane of glass is the ability to say, I updated these drivers of this network adapter, and I want to compare my performance now versus before the update, right? And see, is this any better? Or now is the performance any better or any worse or the same? So we're offering that benchmark and solid monitoring capability so that you're able to apply some firmware update or driver update and compare the before and after based on real-time performance. So basically the first step, you plan. So you select the various components that you want to have, edge server, storage, networking, and so forth. And then basically what you get from the Lenovo factory is a fully integrated rack. It could be half a rack, it could be 5 racks, 10,000 racks. What you'll get at your facility is a preloaded image on the server, and it's ready to be utilized. So what we're doing after is we have a component called the Bootstrap node or the brain, which is locally installed as a VM on the rack. And what we're able to do is automatically enable the deployment of all of these different tasks of automation. And that results in starting with the firmware, starting with the drivers, operating system, network. Many of these servers will have multiple networking adapter. And again, well, as we're creating these network adapter, each in a different VLAN, each with a different IP address and so forth, we go and match that configuration on the networking side as well. So really, it's really automated so that you don't have to orchestrate each team to go and configure the servers, configure the network, and so forth. And finally, the monitoring and maintaining. The maintain mode is, again, the life cycle is quite important. In the data center, it's important if you're going to say, hey, I have 25,000 servers deployed for my NFV deployment or whatever the number is, and now there's a firmware security risk and you need to update your firmware on all of these servers. You need to have a strategy to go and be able to do this pretty easily. in the data center, and even so when you're talking about your edge deployment, because that increases the risk. Now you need to dispatch somebody to go locally and update that. So the orchestration and the ability to manage and update the firmware up to the Vim layer remotely from one central location is part of our value proposition. What we have done with TSystems is, and Paul is going to talk to us about their specific infrastructure, pretty result into these, boil down into these numbers. And I think it's important to realize that from their overall orchestration system, they make one API call to the Lenovo Open Cloud. That's it. They pass us two very simple parameters, which is the number of nodes that they have and the IP address that they want to assign. That in the background triggers about 500 different Ansible playbooks to orchestrate the full deployment of all of those tasks, which result in about the fully operational and ready-to-use system in about 4 hours, right? So again, it's one API call with passing two simple parameters, triggering a series of orchestration tool to automate the deployment from the hardware up to the Vim layer, and then being fully operational within 4 hours, right? So with that, that was a brief introduction of the Lenovo Open Cloud. Obviously, we have it at a Lenovo booth if you want to see it, but we thought that it would be probably better for you to hear it directly from one of our customers. So Paul, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Charles. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Paul Starr, Senior Architect at TSystems, and today I want to give you a bit more insight with our sort of partnership with Lenovo, what we've been doing and how we've been using the Lenovo products, and talk a little bit about TSystems, the sort of enterprise customers we're looking at, then sort of talk a little bit about the selection process we went through, and then have a quick look at the sort of automation stack which we're using within the platform. So TSystems, we are part of the Deutsche Telekom group. We serve major sort of corporations. We've got around about 37,500 people worldwide, 6.9 billion sort of revenue. Global presence, points of presence in Europe and also in India for our sort of operations side. We serve or provide sort of telecom services, obviously as part of sort of Deutsche Telekom group, but also IT services as well. Some of our customers are some of the biggest oil and gas companies in the world and sort of automotive companies as well. So a range of customers and sort of corporations. Within TSystems, we believe in that sort of partnership, working with our vendors, using the best components to fit the best purpose. We have a number of numbers of portfolios. One of our biggest one is SAP, where we provide a very large sort of user base SAP systems to, let's say, a lot of major organisations. We also got around about sort of 65,000 sort of cloud instances. These are basically virtual machines on our sort of private cloud environments, which we manage for multiple customers, a large number of customers. I'd say the partnership is very key to us, and we'll go through it in a bit more detail. A little bit about the future cloud infrastructure. So this is the platform which we're releasing. Starting in the middle, what we see with our customers, they've got a large range of services. It could be mainframes, classic environments, existing environments which are in our data centers, and also on the right-hand side, environments within the customer locations. Speaking to our customers, what they want to do is migrate that over time into private cloud or public cloud offerings. So we see that sort of trend, and this is also what our customers are asking for. What we're going to focus on are the two pink clouds or magenta clouds, the future cloud infrastructure. But FCI is multiple layers, and that's quite key. One of the things which we see is a software-defined connectivity layer at bottom. This is how we provide automated connectivity between the different platforms within TSystems to public cloud to enable multi-cloud and hybrid cloud scenarios, and out to the customer locations as well to provide that unified communication. Now, all of this is sort of fully automation from the customer portal. The real power which we see on the future cloud infrastructure are the sort of two top layers here. First one, which is the sort of managed services. So infrastructure service is pretty common these days, but it's the higher layer services on the platform which really adds value to the customers. So we're looking at things such as multi-cloud operating system, managed cloud operating system, MCOS. We've got multi-cloud backup solutions. And on top of that is future cloud management. So that's a hybrid multi-cloud sort of single glass of plane overlooking the whole infrastructure, which will allow a customer to order platforms, connectivity between public and private, and also to their existing environments. So focusing now on the actual sort of future cloud infrastructure side of things, there's several things which I want to highlight. I won't go through all of these points here, but first one is fully automated. That's absolutely key to us. We need to ensure we've got end-to-end automation and orchestration. We can deliver services to our customers. And the main thing is customers need it quick now. Public cloud has driven that. Customers expect access to cloud environments within minutes, no longer sort of weeks. The other one is talking about the sort of portal. We need that sort of dynamic API access to our customers and the high layer applications to control and provision the services on the platform, but also the sort of portal to allow customers to drive it as well. The multi-cloud and hybrid cloud scenario, like I say, we're looking to enable a platform, provide that sort of bridge between the legacy environments, private cloud and public cloud, be able to move workloads between the different environments. So taking a step back, we started the FCI project about a year and a half ago. We went out to a number of different of our partners, suppliers, issued an RFI, detailing a number of requirements, what we're looking for. We spent a lot of time speaking to our customers, understanding what they want now and what they'd like to see in the future and how they want to drive. And that led into the RFI, RFP process. We had a number of challenges in our existing platforms, mainly lack of API. To be able to provide this in an automated way, we need that sort of good API, a well-defined API to allow us to deploy, like Charles mentioned, environments very quickly. And I'll come back to that in a moment and talk about a bit more in a bit more detail. We need that flexibility and also to reduce the sort of operational cost as well. We've got individual silos, teams managing compute, networking, and different environments, and we need a way to sort of combine that and start moving towards a more agile method. So these days everyone's talking about cost savings, but for us it's also about end-to-end automation and sort of requirements. We need to make sure a platform can scale. We are looking and we are using VMware Cloud Foundation to provide that sort of cloud platform. So key part to me was a POC. We down selected a number of vendors and we went into POC. This is really a stage to say what you showed us on your PowerPoint presentations, the sales presentations, now demonstrate it in a real life environment. And we spent about 6 months going through that with 4 vendors in total, going through a whole range, demonstrating automation, make sure they can actually deliver what we're talking about. The end result, Lenovo, we selected a number of benefits there. We saw some great enhancements to our sort of existing environments. So going through this in a bit more detail, one of the things which we really liked is this pre-packaged solution. We could order the solution in scale units, have it delivered to TSystems data center. The hardware's been tested, validated, plug into network cables, power, and away we go. The complete stack is offered by Lenovo, so from network switches, data center network switches, offering like 25, 40 gig capability, the servers, and hyper-converged storage environment using the vSAN environment. Then we've got the automation on top of that, using the Open Cloud framework. We've got that single API, which Charles talked about, allowed us to deploy that environment. Then layered on top of that, we've got the VMware vRealize set of blueprints. All of those were presented up to our ServiceNow portal. TSystems uses ServiceNow to provide that to our customers, and we can provide a range of services to our customers, such as vCloud environment, automated networking between environments, the managed public cloud services we offer in TSystems. The key thing here, why is that important? In the past, it used to take us weeks to deploy an environment. Like I said about POC environments with our partners, our customers also want the same thing as well. Demonstrate the environment and set up a production-ready environment which a customer can jump onto and test. Would take us a number of weeks to deploy. Now we can deploy it in 4 hours, offer a customer a POC environment which would be exactly the same as what we'd get in production. They can jump on it, test it, play with it, and come back with further questions. And also moving forward, I mentioned SAP, one of our biggest portfolio units. Moving forward, we're looking to deploy that hardware. We can pool the hardware resources and have dedicated resources for environments like SAP HANA. So just finishing off then, FCI, it's really that sort of bridge between the sort of legacy environments, the environments our customers got today, and the private cloud and public cloud, allowing the customers to move between the different environments and over time migrate from virtual machines into more sort of cloud native applications, and like I say, a single pane of glass which will allow us to manage the full stack from initial order all the way through to cloud services, managed backup services, and sort of managed cloud operating systems. So thank you very much. A very sort of quick run through. I'll just quickly hand you back over to Charles.
Okay, thank you, Paul. I think we're pretty much done with our presentation anyway, but I explained the pillars of the value proposition that we bring to the communication service provider or to our customer, but more important, the type of project that we want to develop is in partnership with our customers, right? The industry and the challenges that we're facing are quite large, and working together in an open collaborative way like we've done in this context, and understanding their requirement and feedback and us internalizing it and developing a product and a solution that works for TSystems based on a trusted relationship is what is more important for us in our customer engagement today. So thank you very much. Wanted to appreciate the time today, and thank you.
Thank you.